Hey BookTube! Welcome back to the second of my spooky Halloween reading vlogs. I have quite a few fun things planned for the next couple weeks of October, and a lot of that is reading, but I'm also hoping to get out to a few literary locations this month. A couple, like, stately houses, I guess you could call them, both of which were used as filming locations in some of the Pride and Prejudice adaptations. So while I do just kind of like going out and getting to look around like these big old places, it's nice that I can kind of sort of tenuously tie them into literature. I think in the first vlog as well, when I went to York, you may have seen I went to the Star Inn, which is like my favourite little pub in York, and I believe it's also like a location in Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is not a book that I've read, but again, I've been sticking to, technically, literary locations, or locations like from adaptations. That said, I also really want to get out to Whitby this month, which is obviously a location from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Honestly, I go to Whitby probably like at least 5 times a year, but towards the end of this month it is Whitby Goth Weekend, which is where all the goths descend on Whitby. As you can imagine, this is something I have been to many times. I guess this year I will try and take you along with me, so that's probably going to be like much further into this vlog, given that it's like right towards the end of the month, but at this point it's something I have to look forward to. So on the back of all the talk of me going out and like actually being outdoors and going places, I have not been doing a whole lot of reading. Yeah, I've kind of just been having fun doing things, and I haven't actually read any more of Drowned Country, but I feel like I definitely want to get this finished today. It's been a couple days since I last read, but I imagine I can finish this pretty quickly, and then I don't really know what book I might want to go on to next. I don't know, but I feel like maybe my not reading as well has been a little bit because I was a little bit burned out from reading Babel last week. I guess we'll see how I manage to get on with that. I do also keep thinking whether or not I want to like swap a book out so that I can read The Damned by Renee Ahdieh, because I remember quite enjoying The Beautiful when I read it like a couple of years ago, and that's a whole series, so it would be the perfect time of year. But I also really want to read the books on my TBR. You can see I'm having like some issues here. However, I feel like I need to just focus on this book for now. Like, it's so short, I have no excuse not to like finish this today, really. I mean, how many pages do I even have to go? I don't know, like 120 pages? That's so easily doable for a day. There's not even that much text on each page. I can so do this, and we can so move on. I say that like I'm not enjoying it, like I'm barely into it yet, but I'm sure it's a good book. I feel like I need to just like stop rambling and just go and read this, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And hopefully the next time I check in, you'll see me with a different book. So it's been about a day since I last checked in. You might have seen a brief clip of some books I had to give away to a friend. Basically, I had duplicate copies of a few books, and rather than like hold on to them or like go through the faff of returning them, I figured I would rather just give them away to one of my friends who also reads a lot, and that way they're off my shelf and my friend gets a nice gift. Also, as of yesterday, I'm back at work, so it's been pretty busy. But having said that, reading update-wise, I finished Drowned Country. It was really quick, like I said, it was just a short novella. It was fine. I think I liked the first one more, but like I feel like there's not much I can say because it was so short. But like it was an enjoyable read, and I felt like it was like a little bit meandery in terms of the story, but like you could see that it was trying to get to like a specific point by the end of it, and this was the story it needed to tell to get to that point, and it was fine, and I enjoyed it. Don't really know what else to say on that one, but immediately after that I picked up My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, and I am so far into this one. I read like nearly half of this all in one day, and it's so bingeable. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. Reading this feels exactly like you're just watching like a cheesy like 80s teen horror movie, and the vibes are immaculate. I'm loving this book so far. It is exactly what I wanted, and I'm getting through this way quicker than I thought I was, so depending on how quickly I can finish this, like I think I'm going to finish this today maybe, I might have time to like add another book in, so I'm thinking like maybe like Horror Store or The Damned or something like that. I don't want to get like too ahead of myself because I do still have 2 more books to read from my actual TBR, but I feel like if I can blast through this really quick because I'm just having so much fun with it, then I might end up getting to add more books into my TBR this month, which is really great, to be honest. So yeah, I said I was going to save this for like actual Halloween, but I wanted to read it now, so like I'm reading it now. So yeah, I'm actually on my lunch break now, so I think I'm gonna like make some food and then like read some of this in my lunch break if I can, and then I guess I'll probably check back in I guess when it's finished, because I really don't think it's going to take me long to finish the rest of this. Yeah, that honestly just makes a really good change. Like I'm glad I'm actually reading something that I'm like excited to read. Every time I'm not reading this I'm like no, I want to be reading this actually. Let me stop what I'm doing and start reading this. It's really hard to be working at home and like having this sat across from me and I'm like trying to focus on my work, but I wish I could just like pick this up and read it all day. Unfortunately I can't, but like I wish that I could. Yeah, definitely having a lot more fun with this one. Kind of can't wait to see how it turns out, and then I guess I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm reading next. So I'm gonna go read this, get some food, and then finish up at work, and I don't think it's gonna be that long before I end up checking in again. So hopefully the end of this book is as good as the start and it doesn't let me down. But I imagine I will let you guys know shortly either way. Until then, fingers crossed, I end up really liking it. Hey, so I realise this might look exactly like the last shot, but I promise some time has passed. I've got my kitty pyjama hoodie on because my hair is still damp. So I think in the last clip I mentioned that I was going to try and finish My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I did, and I really enjoyed it. This is, I feel like sometimes when I say I'm looking for like Halloween vibes, like this is just exactly what I was looking for. It's like, it's so tacky, it's like cheesy, stereotypical, super predictable like 80s stuff, because it knows it's doing that, and like it's being purposefully nostalgic, and like there's loads of like little like pop culture hints and things, and to be honest, I don't get a lot of them. I get like some of the song titles, but like I was not alive in the 80s, and I don't even know like modern pop culture. I'm very out of touch. Nevertheless, I did really enjoy this. It was just exactly the right amount of just like cheesy Halloween fun that I really wanted, which means that I get to pick up my next book, and I was really tempted to pick up The Damned, but it's been so long since I read The Beautiful. I don't know, I remember really liking it, but I had so much fun with this that I decided to pick up the other Grady Hendrix book that was on my TBR, which is We Sold Our Souls. And yes, I know this is a different edition to the one that I showed at the start. That copy is just too nice to like take out of the house, so I got one that if I need to go into the office, if I'm still reading this the next time I go into the office, because I might fly through it, just because I knew I was going to be like out and about. If I wanted to take this out of the house, I can, but that's the reason that I have two copies. Also, I'm trying not to look at the front cover because I hate pictures of people on book covers. I know this is meant to look kind of like a Rolling Stones magazine cover sort of thing, and like I love the vibe. I love what they were going for. I just don't like to look at photos of real people that like represent the characters or anything like that. It's not for me. Plus the other cover is just like so good. I can't see it when I'm reading it, so like it's fine. But I did read like just kind of like the first chapter. I think I'm really going to like this one. I don't know whether I'm going to enjoy it as much as this one, only because this is like the perfect sort of like, I don't know, fun Halloween read. However, I do love rock and metal music, and something about reading this just, I know I wasn't like alive and like out and like in the metal scene when this is set, but it still feels really nostalgic. I don't know, I think like I will understand these references. Like, I don't understand 80s pop culture references, I will understand the metal references, I will. I do definitely think this has the potential to be one that I'm really going to enjoy. Also, one thing that I really like about this book is I always feel like we get so few books that are from the perspective of like an older woman. I think the main character is, I think it said she was 47 at the start of the book. It's so rare that you get like a woman over the age of 30 as the protagonist of a book, and like I just want more of them. So I think that's going to be refreshing, and I'm just so hyped for all like the metal references. And at the start of each chapter I think there's like a little excerpt from like a radio show like talking about like metal and things. It's just cool. I'm just enjoying it so far. So I am like barely into it, so I can't really make any snap judgments, but I think I'm gonna like it. And if I do, then maybe I will end up having to pick up like Grady Hendrix's like other works, because I have Horrorstore, so maybe that's another one that I could read this month depending on how quickly I get through this. Because once I'm through this, I think I only have a comic left and then my TBR is done. And I don't know, that's really good for me. I'm starting to rant for like no good reason here. Once again, I'm on a break, so like I can't spend the whole day talking about books, even though I would love to. But yeah, basically this is like a pajama day for me. I'm just gonna be like sat in bed, working, reading. I really like to listen to the Morbid podcast. I am actually, and this is like perfect for this book, I am actually sewing a battle jacket at the moment. I ended up digging out like a load of like the pins and badges and patches and things that I've had since I was like probably like 12, to be honest, and then I bought a bunch of new ones. It's actually just kind of therapeutic to just sit and like plan where they're gonna go and sew them, and I really like it. I actually really like just sewing things on. Even though I did accidentally sew the pocket shut the last time I did this. I fixed it, don't worry. But yeah, I think it's actually going to be nice to like switch between reading this and sewing my battle jacket and listening to like Morbid podcasts. Like, I feel like that's going to be like a nice back and forth. It might help me feel like more immersed in the book. So I am definitely looking forward to that. I feel like I have a nice evening ahead of me. That and something else has arrived that I do need to spend time like unboxing, and I mean like actual spend time doing this, and I feel like while I'm reading this is the perfect time for this to arrive, and I have been waiting for this thing for actual months, and it's finally here. However, I don't know if you can see the size of this box. Like, I'm barely bent over. This is where it comes up to on me. It is a shoulder height box. It is not stood on anything. It is on the floor, I promise. I don't know whether I'm going to get to unbox this in this vlog. However, Does anyone want to take a guess as to what's in here? I'm not going to unbox this yet, but I did just want to show you what is taking up, like, all of my filming space. Yeah, I've really got to go back to work. So, yeah, the next time you see me probably will be, I'm going to say this evening, because I didn't do any filming of me reading yesterday because it was Bake Off. The day before that was House of the Dragon, so I don't really film, like, reading montages on Mondays and Tuesdays. It doesn't happen. But yeah, today is a Wednesday, my dudes, which means, yeah, this evening I might be, I guess, reading, sewing, listening to true crime podcasts. Honestly, living my best life. Or like the best version of my life that is currently available to me, given the state of things. But like, it's close enough, right? So I'm gonna go and email a bunch of people. Love that for me. And the next clips you see should be something slightly more fun than that. Okay. Hello, so quick catch up. I am not quite halfway through We Sold Our Souls just yet, but it's not so much because I'm not enjoying the book, it's mainly just because I have been exceedingly busy this week. So Saturday I threw like a little bit of just like a chill Halloween party. I feel like I was up until like after 3 AM, which it was at my house, so it wasn't that bad, but I was incredibly tired all through Sunday as well, so I didn't get that much reading done, and then I have just been like insanely busy this week with work. I leave my house before 6 AM to get into the office. By the time I got home I was just exhausted, and then I have to watch like Bake Off as well. Oh, on Monday it was the House of the Dragon finale. I also have an art deadline which I am technically overdue for. But I have requested an extension because this is how busy I am. So I haven't had that much time to read. I have been reading little bits here and there, and I am enjoying it. What I'm really enjoying actually are, like I said, I knew I would get the metal references. I'm loving all the little references in this, and I think the most recent thing, it's not so much of a reference, but they were basically sort of kind of trash talking nu metal, which I actually like nu metal. Like, Linkin Park are literally one of my top 5 favourite bands, so... And then, oh, they were bad-mouthing Korn and Slipknot, and like, don't get me wrong, I like Slipknot as well, I do, and Korn, but like, Slipknot deserve it. It's part of like a flashback. They're kind of bad-mouthing the fact that the rumour at the time is that Korn are going to rap on their new album, and in my head I'm thinking, I wish I could see Chris's band's reaction to knowing that in the future Korn is going to duet, they're going to like collaborate with Skrillex. Because like, obviously dubstep doesn't exist yet at the time they're having this conversation, and in my head I'm just like, oh you sweet summer child. The songs weren't even bad, but like, if you're a purist, like, I understand the trepidation. So I am enjoying it. It definitely is taking a different turn plot-wise than I thought it would. I can kind of see where it's going. Like, there's a clear, like, progress. Like, I get it. I just assumed it would be different. So I'm enjoying the book where I can. I do really want to finish it before Friday, and I'm saying that, and it's Wednesday, my dudes. Anyway, my battery's flashing at me, so like, I'm gonna go, and I think I'm gonna eat pizza because I can't be bothered. So hopefully the next time I check in, less stress, less hectic, more book. Wish me luck. Hello. So I am here to update that I have finally finished We Sold Our Souls, and I'm glad to say I actually really enjoyed this one as well. I don't think I liked it quite as much as My Best Friend's Exorcism. I think that one was just helped so much by the fact that it was like exactly what I was in the mood for. I did have a really good time reading this, but it wasn't quite as like spooky horror Halloween-y. Still liked it, still would recommend it, especially if you're into like metal and like alternative music. I will say as well, something about the ending. It's not that I don't get it, it's not that I don't understand like what happened, but it's more that I think, without spoiling anything, there were certain things like set up, there were certain things that I was waiting to kind of see like what the outcome is going to be, and it didn't mention it. I don't really know what to make of the ending exactly in terms of like the bigger picture of things going on. So anyway, still liked it, and I'm also going to use this as an excuse. This has honestly nothing to do with books or reading, but that giant package that arrived that I showed you earlier in the vlog, I figure like since I've finished this book, I kind of just need to open it. I was supposed to like do some DIY to do with this, and it turns out my household does not own a drill anymore, so I have to source a drill from somewhere. So I was holding off on opening it, but I just feel like having finished that book is the perfect time to get this out and just be kind of like dumb about it. So yep. I may have bought a guitar impulsively. Did I impulse buy this at like 2 AM on the 2nd of July, right after watching the Stranger Things finale? Because I may have gone a little bit insane. This is me, and these are my bad decisions. I did just need to have this. I realise this has nothing to do with books. I am tentatively tying this in thematically with having read this book. I did not plan for these things to align because I ordered this, as I said, months ago, and it took until October to arrive, so I guess I just own this now. If you thought that my book buying habits were bad, my fandom buying habits are worse. And this is to say, I don't even really like Stranger Things. I think it's a mid-show at best. I just have issues, let's not talk about it. It's very rare that I get this obsessed with a fictional character, but when I do. So yeah, enough about my bad habits. Back to the vlog. I'm actually going to Whitby tomorrow for Whitby Goth Weekend, and there's actually an event on up at the Abbey, so the Abbey is all going to be like lit up, and there's going to be like reenactments of like parts of Dracula or something like that. So I'm super excited. Obviously I'm going to try and capture as much of it as I can to show you guys, and yeah, and then after that, and having finished this, I only have one book left to go on my TBR, and it's a comic, and it's all vampires, so I think I'm looking at a pretty good end to my Halloween. Alright, okay, I need to go and like find somewhere to put this. I haven't owned a guitar in years, I do not have like a stand or anything anymore, so I need to figure that out. So yeah, I have to go. Hello everyone! So I am looking a little bit rough because as you saw yesterday we went to Whitby for Whitby Goth Weekend and I am exhausted. I am very tired. We did a lot of walking around and the event at the Abbey was so much fun and we got to see like a little vampire Dracula summoning ritual. It was so cool and atmospheric and I really liked it. We didn't even get rained on, so like honestly, great evening. But I did get some little like goodies, some like little souvenirs, and I just wanted to share them. So the very first thing I picked up as we were going like round the little hall, I got this beautiful little edition of Wordsworth Illustrated. I got it because like I saw how lovely the spine was and the cover is beautiful, but the pages are also gilded. The book is like, it's published in 1850 something, I think, I can't remember, so it's like 160 years old. Like the cover is coming away from the spine a little bit. I just felt like this would be a wonderful souvenir and I just kind of wanted to rescue it, and I try not to collect vintage books right now just because I don't have anywhere to put them, but I kind of couldn't leave this there, so I rescued this book. And I don't know if maybe I could potentially try and get like this part repaired. I'm fine with some of the pages being loose, like I can be gentle with that, but I would love it if maybe I could do something to sort of secure the cover on a little bit more. Like this has been like well loved and well read, and now I'm gonna keep it. I also, like, I have this thing where if I smell too many scents, I will pass out. Like, I can't go down like a perfume aisle in Boots. I can't go into like the candle section of an IKEA. But I do still like candles and melts and things. So I couldn't tell what this smelled like because like my senses were just overwhelmed. Apparently this is a vampire candle that smells like blood orange. It's a little bat. It's like a gross little vampire bat. And he has like cute little red eyes. He's actually melting as I hold him, so I'm not going to. And then the last little souvenir that I picked up is for Christmas, and it's this cute little dragon bauble. So it's just like a cute little dragon sat on like a little bauble, and I thought this was so cute and so me, and now this is gonna go on my Christmas tree. So yeah, that was my little Whitby haul, and tomorrow is now Halloween, so I think what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna try and like wake up and clean myself up. I have this like really tall black candle. It's meant to be like a magic candle, but I don't buy into that. Apparently it smells like black opium. Again, I don't really know what that's meant to smell like. It just smells like every like new agey goth shop you've ever been into. So I think I might light this because this is probably like the most Halloween-y aesthetic dark gothic candle that I have. I might wait for it to get dark, but I'm then I guess gonna pick up Claudia's Story and at some point edit this vlog, and I might rewatch Sleepy Hollow because I feel like that's just like aesthetically the most over-the-top gothic-y sort of Halloween-y looking film. It's the vibes are immaculate, to be honest, so even though I've seen it like dozens of times, I might just put that on in the background. I think that's my day sorted. I don't think I could handle doing anything else today. Honestly, I feel about as beat up as this book looks, so I'm gonna go have like a chill, relaxing, goth kind of day, and I guess the next time I check in will probably be the last time. Okay, I'm gonna go and do something about like all of this. So this is it. This is the end of my Halloween reading vlog. I really enjoyed getting to read my way through all of these books, not to mention all the fun Halloweeny things that I've done this month. So yeah, I really had fun with this, and I would really love to do something like this again. The only downside is I have to now wait a whole year for next Halloween. Not that I need to wait till next year to do reading vlogs, but I feel like maybe next year I'll just have like a big vampire extravaganza. I feel like that could be fun. So yeah, sadly the spooky time of year is at a close, but I have had a great time the past couple weeks, and hopefully you guys have as well. If you did make it this far into the video, leave me like a little bat emoji. I feel like that's sufficiently Halloweeny. Oh, and also you maybe didn't see when I was at Whitby, but this is my bag. This is my little bat bag, and he needs a name. So if you made it this far, maybe leave me a bat emoji, but also name suggestions, please. So with that said, I think that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this spooky reading vlog journey. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys did too, and maybe I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!